Are you seeing this?
Hey, don't get.
Is flipping docks, skipping docks, and I think the skipping docks is probably your best bet for late season or late summer fish, just because it kind of imitates these bait fish that are up under the docks and around the docks, jumping up on the surface and skipping around. If you kind of plop your bait there, these fish are just going to kind of scatter. So what you want to do is you want to get a little bit of your line out, and that gives you a little bit of room to flip it under. And then as your bait's about to touch the water, you want to lift up on your rod tip, and that's going to keep your reel from backlashing. If you have a spinning reel, you don't have to worry about it, but it does help just kind of keep the bait gliding across the water. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your bait, drop it down a little bit just to give you some of that swing. Hold on to your line, and you're going to take it, and you're going to spin it right down there like that. You can see it skip across. You still get a little bit of backlash, but it's not going to lock up. And it's a little bit easier to manage. Once you get good at it, you're not going to have as many of the backlashes. Just like that. See, no issues. And it just skips right across the water, right under the dock. And that's going to keep it from plopping there. And it's going to imitate more bait fish. Now, if you've got like a wacky worm or something, it's going to be a little bit easier to skip. These bandito bugs do skip pretty well. They've got kind of a fat surface on them, so it really glides across the water a little bit easier. So when you do that, we're gonna go over this again. So you drop your bait down, you're gonna swing it and bring it right across the water. And then as it hits the water, you're gonna lift up on your rod tip. And it's just gonna kind of glide in there. You're not gonna get that plop. It's not going to scare the fish. It's going to skip across, imitating that bait fish, and it's going to trigger the fish a little bit more. Just like that. You can skip pretty much about anything. You can skip, flipping jigs. You can skip anything once you start getting used to how they hit the water. The soft plastics are a little bit easier just because they are buoyant and you don't have as much weight trying to bring it under the water. So your worms, craws, bugs, something like that is going to kind of slide across the water a little bit easier. Just like that. Now I'm throwing a black and blue, and I know it's July, but our waters here are really dirty, so if you're fishing spots that are really dirty and you can't see very well, you're going to get better results with a darker bait just because it increases the visibility of the fish. And I have more luck with the black and blues in muddy water. I've had luck with black and purples, but I believe that it's something, these couple tips will definitely help you catch these more dormant fish in the later season. July is not the greatest time for us, at least, for catching a lot of fish. We catch them mostly in May and June. But learning different techniques and stuff like that definitely helps when you're out on the water. Kind of gives you something else to think about. If they start hitting a certain pattern, then you just take that, you start skipping it under docks. If they're sitting under docks, you can also throw it up on rocks and shallow, skipping it too, and it's not going to scare the fish away as much as it will if you just take this bait and you just throw it up and plop it right on the water. If you're sight fishing them, you do watch them. If you're sight fishing a fish, you're not going to take it and plop it right on them. You're going to kind of slowly bring it past them and then bring it to them. And that's same thing. These fish are still doing the same thing. It just might not be as easy to see you with the muddy water compared to clear water. What do you think, dog? Should we catch a couple more fish, huh? Yeah? Okay. That's fine. Rattling Ned. Little shake in there. Throwing right up on these rocks, but I'm not catching them on the rocks. I'm pulling it off, and they seem to be hitting it about 10 feet off the rocks. It's about 70. It's a little colder than it has been, which is nice. I felt like we were going to have some fish move up in this marina just because of how hot it was the last couple weeks. They kind of seem to move out, so we're just going to keep hammering them, see what happens. Oh, there was that skip. Give me my Ned rig. Not bad, not huge. There's that skip. That was with the Ned rig too. Skip it right up there. They think it's a bait fish. Whop, right at the surface. He didn't even hesitate. Right, Sadie? I know. I know. What do you think, dog? What do you think? Not big, but fun. See you, dude. So hopefully that helps you guys. If you guys like tips like this, please let me know and I'll make a couple more videos like this. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video so more people see it. Check out the podcast, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time of my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My God up on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. All these people trying to box me in. I'm Mayweather, it's on, yeah. Now they ask where I'm at. Making hits that line back. I'm MJ, I'm 2-3, man. I just need some time back. I'm zone.